Hi, I'm Jackie Rabbit. Today I want to talk to you about how to HRT the right way, hormone replacement therapy. How do you start it? What are you supposed to do? What are you not supposed to do? Let's go talk about that. But first, go give me a thumbs up and then subscribe. Click the bell so you get the next video, because there's something important you're going to need to know the next video. There always is. So let's go talk about how to do hormone replacement therapy in the beginning the right way without hurting yourself. Come on, let's go talk about it. Hormone replacement therapy is one of the first things that many of us women do. In transition, it's one of the things that we focus on. In fact, some of us, like myself, hyper-focus on this topic unnecessarily. But I know, because many of you have been asking me questions, lots of you, that I need to answer this, and we needed to do a video about it because it's very, very important, and not for the reason you think it is. So, hormone replacement therapy, or HRT, is a process of replacing one's previous unwanted hormones with the actual gender-affirming hormones throughout the course of your life as you start transition. And it is a lifelong process. You could choose later on in life to stop, as most women do, genetically just not have as much hormones as they go through menopause later in life. So when you get older, you could choose to stop. But in the beginning of the process of transition, almost all of us opt for that option and start taking hormones, rejecting the old hormones with blockers until we have surgery that removes the old unwanted testosterone in our systems, and we simply have the replacement hormones that we get via various methods, and we'll talk about that. So I want to focus on doing this the right way and what you should do. How do you HRT? Well, you do it safely. You do it with medical approval, and you do it with medical oversight. You do not do it on your own. My number one message today is do not self-dose. I am really serious. In fact, I will say that I am dead serious about that. Don't self-dose. It can be deadly. Don't do it. Now, I've had many of you come to me in the comments section and tell me that you're taking some herbal supplement or something that's not a hormone. I'm not going to mention any brands or anything. I have discussed this ad infinitum for years with my friends. What I know is that all of the things that are not hormones really don't do anything and potentially could be very harmful. So I see no reason to recommend any of them. In fact, my guideline to you would be don't do that. Topical creams, things like that, where you want things to happen. If you think that adding a cream to your breast to make it grow is going to work, that's not how things work. The body needs hormones because different organs, different areas of the body have hormone receptors. There are organs of your body that only activate given the proper hormone. Basically, it's the key that unlocks the growth. So that key isn't right wherever you want it. The key is in your bloodstream. Hormones are delivered by various methods throughout your body through the circulatory system, thereby activating or blocking, if you're taking blockers, certain hormones so that particular organs and areas of your body do different things. Hair is one of those things. Hair can be a hormone-driven area. Your face, for example, or kind of everywhere. Testosterone drives hair growth where it doesn't on women. So that's a very visible thing. So you wouldn't apply all these creams and things to where you want the hair to be if you wanted hair, or vice versa, put creams and things on the area that has hair to get rid of them, because that's not going to work. It's all about the hormones in your bloodstream. Sadly, stopping testosterone in your bloodstream won't stop the facial hair. It may affect it ever so slightly, but most that I've seen are wishful thinking. it is what it is. Whether it softens hair or not depends on the individual. I don't know that there is any difference. I didn't experience any difference, and it took years of electrology to get to this phase of never shaving. I don't remember the last time a razor touched my face. I'm in like the cleanup phase, and it'll be a while, but it's just cleanup, So hormones drive that. They also drive the growth and feminization of your body. And I know in the beginning, many of us want to do something without telling everybody. You don't have a lot of choice here. If you want to properly transition, you're going to at the very least, need to let your doctor know. And where you really truly start is with a therapist. So the way that you HRT correctly is first you start with a therapist, and preferably one inside your medical network. Then your therapist will most likely tell you to go come out to your doctor. Mine did. So that's the next step. You go to your doctor and you tell them, I identify as trans and I want to start transitioning. So I need to make the first step. And the first step is telling you. Now that can be nerve-wracking in the beginning, and I understand. I remember doing that. I actually remember going to the hospital and waiting there, to see my doctor, and the girl came in and she sat me down and I didn't really, say much to her. Then the doctor came in and I talked with my doctor and we discussed it, and she said, welcome to the club, and she was very nice. It was a very pleasant thing. And then I talked with the assistant who was there later, and I told her, and she was very nice. She also in the hallway said, welcome to the club, so, and years later, I had gone back to the same, not to the same doctor, but to the same department to see a different doctor. And I saw that girl again, that was the assistant, and I said, hey, do you remember me? And she had no idea. She just didn't. And I told her, I said, 2 years ago, and she was like, oh my gosh, I would never have known. That's so amazing. And I told her, I said, well, that is the process of transition. So if you want to start transition, and hormone replacement therapy is where you want to start, you've got to come out to your doctor. You've got to get a therapist. Now, the therapist you'll need inside your own medical insurance is there because they are the ones that supply you with the referrals to where you need to go in transition, whether it is to your endocrinologist for HRT, or if it's to a surgeon for any particular surgery for gender-affirming things like top surgery, bottom surgery, facial surgery, vocal surgery, whatever that is, you're going to need the referral inside your medical insurance to get that. Now, I know not all insurance companies in all areas cover things. They do for me, and I'm incredibly blessed to have that. In Northern California, through Covered California, Kaiser, they're very, very progressive, and they have taken care of me extremely well, even from the very beginning. Like, nobody ever misgendered me, even when clearly I was just in boy mode. They were extremely nice to me, and I've had a fantastic experience through Kaiser. And I know some of you are kind of bummed out that you don't have that available to you. Well, I understand. Things are changing. Hopefully things will be better in the future. It wasn't that many years ago when the things available to me now weren't available at all. So hopefully the future will bring good changes to our medical communities that will benefit us in the trans community. So we will just keep marching forward. There's nothing saying that if the life you lead is so important that you are in a transition that is everything to you, well, there are places to move to. Now, I know it's tough to get up and move, but it is an option. Luckily, I lived here all my life. I have reaped the benefits of being in this particular region, and for me, it's been really a positive experience. So let's talk about why you shouldn't self-dose. Number 1, self-dosing can kill you. Number 2, self-dosing could possibly lead to you never being allowed to medically have hormone replacement therapy, and I will tell you why. And number 3, you've got no idea about what you're getting. What you're getting outside of a prescription could be real, could be fake and do nothing, or could be completely poisonous and hurt you. You don't know. The herbal supplements and all those things, if they worked, the doctors would be using them. Soy-based, all that kind of stuff. Whatever it is, A phytoestrogen is just that, a phytoestrogen. It's not a bioavailable to your body, going to put your bloodstream into delivering hormones to your body where your body will react to it. Phytoestrogens can have secondary effects, but not what you're looking for. So you truly need bioidentical hormones, or estradiol. There are other hormones available. There used to be, like, I think it was Premarin, which was derived from horse urine. I don't know how that works. It is what it was. I don't know if they do it anymore. So the way that you do go through the receiving of hormones is different too. I use patches because they are the safest that my endocrinologist could get for me, and I wanted to be safe. Patches are transdermal. They just are like a little sticker that you put around your bikini line. You just have them on either side. You alternate. Mine are, I think, twice a week because they're very stable. There's no ups and downs unless you forget, So very stable, and they don't go through your digestive tract. They are not processed through your liver or kidneys, which is a dangerous thing you have to really be careful about. And they just get into the bloodstream transdermally, and they do their job. I mean, clearly, I'm telling you they work. Even though I am 50 years old and I've been on them for close to 3 years, I'm telling you they work. They do the job they're supposed to. And they were prescribed to me by my doctor, and that was the way to go. I did very carefully investigate what was available online. And while they seemed real and the packaging was convincing, everything looked right, when I compared them to the real thing, they weren't. They really weren't. They would have fooled me, and I'm smart. I know what I'm looking at. So knowing what they were, having gone through that and tested them, the strength of the patches that were available online were so high. They had nothing to do with the strength that was on the box. The strength of those things was so high that they would have, had I used them, they would have potentially killed me and given me a blood clot. So I want you to know that even though there are very legitimate looking products out there that you buy from places that say they're giving you the real deal, I wouldn't trust it at all. Again, I'm just going to go right back to don't self-dose. You're playing with your life. Come out to your doctor, get a therapist, and start the process. Because once you really get going, the thing that could hold you back, and this is the second thing that I talked about, the thing that could hold you back is if you do have a blood clot, because there is a higher risk of blood clots when you start hormones. And if you got fake hormones and they looked real and you used them, but the dosage was crazy high, and you're having like a 600 or 700, estrogen count, it could kill you. You could have a blood clot. Now, let's say you have a little bitty blood clot, and you go to the hospital and they give you some blood thinners and everything's okay in a while. All right, you avoided disaster, okay? That was a life-threatening possibility, but you came out of it okay, theoretically. Here's the big problem. You are now a blood clot risk to your doctors. You aren't going to get prescribed hormones now. You've had a blood clot, and you're a blood clot risk. So they're going to be really hesitant to give you hormone replacement therapy as a prescription. So you potentially could completely take away your ability to be medically prescribed hormone replacement therapy if you fool around with the stuff that's online and it gives you a blood clot. I just can't imagine you want that. So I'm going to again say don't self-dose, ever. It's never a good idea. It either won't work or potentially could kill you. So I know I've said it a lot, and I'm going to say it again because I want you guys to know the one right way to do it is go to your doctor. They have other methods that they can give you your hormones with. There's injections. I've not done those, although I have heard people say they think they work better. Again, that just might be psychosomatic. People may think it works better. I can't say that there's any evidence that it does or doesn't. If the hormones are in your bloodstream, they will deliver them to the key receptors, the hormone receptors in your body. It's as simple as that. So either the hormones are in your bloodstream or they're not. And then the only thing after that is the strength of how much hormone is in your bloodstream, and your endocrinologist should be in control of that. They know exactly what you need to do. So I think either one is okay. I don't feel the need to stab myself. The only thing I don't like about the idea of injectables is that you run kind of a peak and then it trails off until you inject again. What I like about the patches is you stay very steady as long as you do the prescribed, wipe it down with alcohol, stick it on, hold it for 20 seconds really hard, and in 3.5 days, do it again. Move it to the other side, clean off that side, clean the skin, reapply. Works like a charm. I don't have any trouble. I just use rubbing alcohol, and I clean the area really good, stick on the patches, and 3.5 days later, I'm good. There's also oral. I know that some people use blood or birth control because it comes with the hormone pills and stuff. Again, I don't think it's the way to go. Number one, it's going through your digestive system. So your digestive system is destroying some of the hormones that you're trying to take. It also has to pass through your liver and kidneys, which is very hard on them and not recommended. So there's no really good reason to take oral. I personally would not. The strength has to be higher in the pill in order for it to get through your system to actually get to your bloodstream. So the goal is getting it into your bloodstream. Transdermal is still my recommendation. Your doctor will have their recommendation, and I would tell your doctor, I just want to be safe. I want to be on hormone replacement therapy during the course of my transition, and they will help you with that. So once you've gotten a therapist inside your medical group, they're the ones that get you all of those referrals, including hormone replacement therapy. So that's where you really, truly need to start. Again, I just want you to know, please, I care. It makes a huge difference to me that you guys are safe. It makes a huge difference to me that you are able to start your hormone replacement therapy correctly with your doctor. It is a vitally important step in transition, and it becomes this hyper focus initially. I also want you to know that while I've gone through this process, I also realized I did not need to hyper focus on hormones. They do some work. They really do some work, and it is important. But at the same time, you could totally transition without. Now, I've had 4 different surgeries, and with those surgeries, I wouldn't look a lot different, just a little different. So it's still completely doable. I would be a perfectly good candidate for a no hormone transition, as I would still look very similar to how you see me now. I didn't grow massive cheeks or have great facial features. I didn't grow a lot of breasts. I didn't blossom into, instant woman body. It doesn't work that way. But it helped, and that was a positive thing. So I went forward with my life on HRT, and it helped the amount that it was going to for me. And now that I'm 50, I can look back and tell you it's a small thing. It's not a lot. So know that if your doctors tell you you cannot go on HRT, it's not the end of the world. You can totally transition. It's not as big a deal as you think it is. So don't have a big reaction to that. Just find out what your alternatives are and move on with transition the way it needs to be done. So, and if you've got questions about this and you want to ask, a lot of women how this works for them who have had different experiences than myself, go over to transgenderpulse.com. They have really good resources too. The moderators and the members there have lots of information. Now, they're not going to discuss dosages or self-dosing. That is not what I'm sending you there for. But they will discuss things about talking to your doctor, things about going to your first therapy meeting. They'll encourage you to do things the right way, which is exactly what you need to do. Remember, I care how this works for you, and that's why I share. I want you to be safe. I want you to know it can be done. It's a 1 day at a time process, but you will eventually get there. I also want to wish you a happy Halloween, as today is Halloween. So happy Halloween to all of you. I'll see you next time. Bye. Being as it's Halloween, I would just try to do something Halloween-like and show you a little more about who I really am. What do I dress up like for Halloween? Well, I won't say much. But what side of the forest did you think I belonged on? I'm a bad bunny.